And we are live. There we go. Give everyone a few minutes here to arrive, and we'll get this rolling. Thank you very much. One more minute and we'll get this going. Okay, why don't we start our countdown and kick this off? Welcome. I guess 3, 2, 1. Let's get this going. Welcome everyone to So 900. Time for a little crypto talk. This, of course, is for Wednesday, March the 12th. And as your guest, I'm John Davies. Thank you very much for joining me. I do appreciate it as always. We're just getting this whole thing, crypto talk, going. I'm having a lot of fun with this. Hopefully, I'll be able to provide you all a lot of answers into the crypto sphere. I think that's very important. The reasons why I'm doing this. Personally, it's to give back to the community. I don't think crypto has really been explained sufficiently. But if you know my long history in the investment world, I've always believed it's important to give back to the community and allow retail investors to make their informed decisions, and decisions most informed. And remember, with here, I'm not pitching anything, not selling anything. There won't be any efforts to monetize. I'm not going to try to pursue a greater following. Just enjoying this opportunity to speak to you, the investors. And today, I'm going to try to answer a question. Hopefully, it can make sense, but it'll help a great deal. Okay, so we started this off last week. It's been a good start to the rolling on the entire crypto sphere and hopefully decentralized finance. And understanding decentralized finance is a fascinating thing. Most people have not done this. As I've said previously, I believe traditional finance has done or maybe it's one way or the other. I'm not sure. It's decentralized finance has done a poor job, or the crypto sphere has done a poor job. But there's a lot of misgivings and misunderstandings of this broad cryptography, this broad experience. And as I said in 2014, think more than just Bitcoin. No, that's nothing negative of Bitcoin. It's just you should embrace the technology, embrace this extraordinary technological advancements that coming in our lifetime. You know, for those of us old enough, as I said, my father was an early stager in tech memory. His goal was, as a kid, he was very poor growing up, but the ability to bring the finest libraries, the great works of art all around the world was just a great gift for him. So that's his investment in memory wasn't on simply earning money, making wealth. It's about earning things that are far greater. And many people have not really captured this. And they're growing up as a young boy in the 1960s when I had my paper route. I take my what it is, my 85 cents or whatever it is, to my bank, put my money into the bank, and the lady would write it down, stamp it, and then initial it that it went in properly. Well, the SWIFT system has done us well. It came into existence in 1973. It has done us well, but it hasn't moved. And with the times, the grand technological advancements, and obviously the Satoshi white paper of 2008 advanced us remarkably, but we've been growing even just the same. And the time is now, and as I want to emphasize to people, the future of banking is not the present of banking. We're advancing. So those eras of, if you're anything like me, when you try to send money abroad to family, maybe the delay for funds is quite long, or for that matter, funds are withheld, or for that matter, we're paying exorbitant fees. This should all be disappearing with our extraordinary advances in recent years. And so again, try to understand things for how they are and try to ignore the misgivings and erroneous ideas one has of the broad cryptosphere. And what I'd rather say, is decentralized finance. As I said since ground day one, 2014, when I established my risk management, what is the first risk management desk in cryptocurrency, of course it was Bitcoin, is think of this broader, think of the technologies and the changes. None of these things happen overnight, and we have to understand how they evolve. So these are moving quite in succession how we like. Of course, some things are not going quite succession how we like. I never quite was comfortable on pre the most recent presidential election how it became part of a political tribe, a political move. I thought these are the kind of things that we have to stay away from because it could lead to confusion. And particularly when we're talking about decentralized finance. Remember, the goal is decentralized finance, not find more government involvement. For that, I have to go through centralized finance and decentralized finance. Maybe we could have a class on that one day. But this movement, I never felt comfortable with it. And I always question that, yes, it's very good that we have a presidential candidate that embraces the decentralized finance sector and it's this great revolution that we're having. Absolutely the case. But I would like to think all candidates would understand the future of decentralized finance. And this actually should apply to all countries we're discussing. Everyone should be leaning hard into it. There's just so many opportunities and so many real democratic efforts of capital growth, economic development that can happen through this. We have to watch, we have to contain the regulatory measures enough to do work, but not to strangle it and turn it into some, I don't even know the choice of words here, but regulatory measures and centralization over something that's supposed to be decentralized. Well, true to form and uncomfortable to note, but it is very accurate that we've seen this very significant retracement in our cryptosphere, and it is almost as expected. And for those who hear me speak on a daily basis on such matters, I believe that one of the best things that we can see for this sector is less government do the job that they have to ensure proper regulatory, but don't turn this into a political campaign, or we're going to have some serious concerns on how the market, the general market, and how crypto investors look at it. And for myself, it's all numbers don't lie. And over the last 30 days, today again is March the 12th, and we go through this list of extraordinary companies. We find them unfortunately, with the one exception, have one common denominator. They're all deeply in the red. ADA is the one that is advanced. Cardano has advanced. ADA 9.4%. TRX is off 6.3%. This is over the last 30 days. Ripple, XRP off 7%. HBAR, great company out of Dallas, off 10.2. Bitcoin is down 13.8. AVAX off 26%. SUI off 26.1. Link, which I think is just, and I'll have a brief commentary on that, off 26.3. Ethereum off 27%. Aave off 28.3. Algo off 30.3. Wall Street 2.0, the tokenization of everything. Ondo off 32.8, and Sol down 36.3. Less talk, more action, less regulatory. Don't turn this purely into a political storyline, or we're going to have some more of this. I don't believe anything will defeat the advancements of decentralized finance, but I want to see the momentum continue in this sector uninterrupted for the best things that it can be, and actually adhere to the great measures of Satoshi's white paper. So something for you to consider there. Furthermore, also, some of this was just a pure technical movement that we were quite comfortable with, extremely comfortable with. I don't want to dissuade you at all with or confuse you with this. I do note that on January 25th, I first noted that I believed Bitcoin, and this was when it was at 106,500. It was susceptible to a pullback to 75,000, to a lesser extent 70,000, before beginning a movement, a northbound train upwards that will see a trouble within the fiscal year, roughly speaking, more or less, to be quite honest, slightly less than 11 months, about 10 and a half months. That's what I'm looking. It's on schedule But we have to see this progress forward, always, always forward. Okay, so that's something I want to point out. Now, today or tomorrow, pardon me, Senator Haggerty's Genius Act comes into play, and that will be voted on, and that's obviously very important. Of course, this is with regards to stablecoins, and again, and I'm just reading. This is the Genius Act guiding and establishing national innovation of U.S. stablecoins to establish clear and regulatory framework for payment stablecoins. I like to think of payment stablecoins as simply expanding the horizon, not simply about U.S. dollars, and that's actually something that has to be very important. We're going to see a lot of this, but a lot of these type situations. But this is a bipartisan agreement. It's very good in certain regards, but also we have to be very aware of this. Do understand the Genius Act. It's got 6 major points, but on this, and it defines a stable payment. Will define, pardon me, a payment stable coin as a digital asset or payment of settlement is pegged to a fixed monetary value. But going into this, the point is this, and I'm going to give you the background. Dollar-denominated payment stablecoin, digital assets pegged to the U.S. dollar. I understand that within the Genius Act, but that's not the case. We have friends from around the world, and it's not necessarily purely the U.S. dollar. We have to consider all these things. We have to be objective. They can improve, the background goes on, they can improve overall transaction efficiency, expand financial inclusion, and strengthen. This is the issue that I want to underscore, highlight, and for you to have in boldface. Strengthen the dollar supremacy as the world reserve coin as by driving demand for U.S. treasuries. We're going to have to unwrap that fully because honestly, I'm a little bit uncomfortable on that. Remember, I want to see decentralization, not centralization, and basically following a policy where we have to be concerned of how stable coins are being used. This is global industry, right? And hopefully all of you had a chance to watch an extraordinary presentation on Bitcoin from Michael Saylor. Now, a gentleman asked me on with regards to Link. And, and I'm going to go through this. I've got a bunch of notes. I've tried to summarize them down into an elevator speech. And of course, the first thing I want to mention is that I'm not associated with Link in other manner or its creator, Sergey Nazarov, or for that matter, Steve Ellis. I'm not. They wouldn't know them. Maybe they might have remembered at some business function, but that's basically that. I own it. I believe in accumulating, and I believe that we're going to have, unfortunately, if Bitcoin continues to pull back, and this goes into a gentleman that I've got to take a call from later on, that if Bitcoin continues to pull back, as I believe we might see a little bit of a further easing, although this is a great entry point. Stay tactically sound. It could pull back more if we get further tariff talks, which could set some grumbling in the market. Now, my brief notes I really want you to be aware of. You have to break down Chainlink in a simple, basic term. So I'm going to be trying to do this as an elevator pitch, and I'm not doing any pitch here on it. However, again, founded in 2007, created in 2017. The genius of Sergey Nazarov really is our generation's great genius, and Steve Ellis. It is a decentralized blockchain Oracle network, okay? And it's to connect smart contracts and real-world data payments events. Smart contracts and self-executing agreements on blockchains. Consider on Ethereum, they require external data, and Chainlink, as the name implies, links, secures this, closes this gap securely. Chainlink is in essence a layer, a middleware layer. Again, as the name implies, link, and the Oracle network will fetch, verify, and delivers external data to said smart contracts. I hope that makes sense. The Oracle network, they're operated independently, and it provides incentivized through Link and its native currency through supply and to supply accurate data. For those who are interested, and I'm sorry if this gets a little bit complicated, but it's an ERC20 token used to pay node operators, and it's to secure said network. Um, Chainlink's key features, key attributes, I would say, is decentralization. I know I'm going to speak so much about centralization and decentralization. I really have to spend time on trying to help everyone understand the extraordinary elements of decentralized finance. But its key attribute is decentralization. It's very flexible, maneuverable, and security. Now, unlike where there are those SPFs, single points of failure, Chainlink's as a distributed network, and it reduces the potential threat risks, those manipulation risks. Its cryptographic system it ensures data integrity. So again, it's a rock solid system, and it supports a vast array of different types, from gaming, um, certainly payment system, financial needs, IoT. So it's very versatile. Now, its applications are extensive, and so hence it is in decentralized finance, it is the pricing, the feed for platforms, our lending platforms. We'll talk more about those in future, and certainly in stable coins. Also in gaming, it plays an enormous role, and we can certainly look at it for things like flight data, insurance, and already has established some extraordinary partnerships, including Swift. We're going to watch this continues. It is a leader in the Oracle space, and also expanding with new element services like its cross-chain interoperability protocol. So I hope that makes sense. We can go through this. I'm very positive on Link. I'm very positive on Chainlink, pardon me. And as I try to explain to everyone, this is in many ways all roads go through Link. I don't have the ability to show a graphic here. I can certainly post it one day. There are many people have done. When you look at all the interactions that Chainlink has within the broad decentralized finance sector, the DeFi sector, you realize really all roads go through Link. It's going to be every part, and we probably, for many of you, you've already, for those of us travel and use all, obviously, credit card payments internationally, we have already, and I'm sure all of us have in some way, shape, or form made use, or our funds, our systems have made use of Link. Okay, so I hope that helps the gentleman in explaining. If it does not, just let me know, and I'll go through some other breakdown on this and submit to you. Obviously, you want to take a look at some of their documentation and the videos that they produce. They'll do a far better job than I, but I think it will prepare you well. Okay, so that's it for today. Big things that I want to highlight here: the Genius Act. I'm pleased with seeing this going through. I don't like the mention of their intent. Again, I want to see the crypto sphere expand globally, and that we don't have any segmentation. I'm always concerned that we're going to put too much centralization in within a decentralized attempt to put centralization in too much of a decentralized setting. I think we right now have a lot of uncomfortable sides. The industry itself is very confident of the future, but not very pleased on how things have moved along and the reaction. That's understandable. But we also can say that the pullback in Bitcoin was very much predictable, and I can say that because yes, I predicted it. So it's going along to plan, but sure as always, we expect some volatility. We expect to see vol on vol as well as we get into some very turbulent periods, but a lot of very positive things happening in the sector, and I hope to be able to constantly bring this to you. I've got a lot of things more to add here in coming days, and we'll try to branch out. But first and foremost, if you need me to go through some of the nuances, say for instance of Link before we go into XRP and everything else on that, as well as our daily talks and anything else news upcoming, please let me know. Please, if you have a chance, go through, put it on the background, watch Michael Saylor's brilliant presentation on Bitcoin. I thought that was tremendous, regardless if one is bullish or not, or wishes to participate in that. Fine, but just owe it to yourself to watch. Okay, so that's it. I went a little bit over time. Our shot clock, the buzzer's going here. It's time for me to get going, but I want to thank everyone for joining me. Again, it's a good start to our efforts here, and we'll return tomorrow at 9 p.m. Or 9 a.m. obviously, 9 a.m. Eastern time. So again, thank you very much for joining. I'm John Davies. Crypto Talk returns tomorrow at 0900 Eastern time, and as always, I remind you, be the hunter, not the hunted. Take care. Bye-bye.